We gotta like let's see. I wish I knew some more languages too, actually.
Dude,
Awesome.
do you want me to teach you something really profane in Portuguese?
Oh, please. That sounds amazing.
I have to preface this by saying that I learned it in a bar about 15 years ago. I'm not sure how
Nice.
accurate this is. But I used to actually go around downtown Austin drunk, asking people to teach me swear words in their native tongues. And I made a lot of friends this way. It was actually a great time. So this is which in English translates to either go fuck yourself or fuck off. It's not a nice thing to say, but it's very, very funny because it's the only thing I know in Portuguese. So I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not reliant upon my Portuguese language knowledge at some point in the near future. But the phrase is repeat after me: Vai pro caralho.
Wait, Vi Pro. The last one's a little tricky there.
Abayu?
Yeah, it's spelled Caralho, and I think the pronunciation is caralho. There's like kind of a like you're supposed to roll the R, maybe. I don't know. Caralho.
Caralho.
Vai pro caralho.
Vai pro
Pro
caralho.
Caralho. That's great. We are learning things, people. I mean, yeah, don't like greet your mother with that one or anything, but it could come in handy.
I mean, no Portuguese. What's the harm, right? I mean,
true.
I once met these two Russian girls when I lived in Finland, and I was like, the only thing I know is basta nachwe, and I knew it meant shut the fuck up, but they looked really offended, and I was like, what's wrong? It just means shut the fuck up, right? Well, it kind of more means it's more directed at a woman. It's like the worst icebreaker I think I've ever done in my life.
Oh man, yeah. There's a Spanish word, chingar, which apparently has some really, really dark etymological connotations, and it's not just like the English word fuck is very it's a fun word, it's a word that does a lot of different things, but I think that the connotation with chingar is a lot more closely related to what we would associate with the English word rape rather than the English word fuck, which those denote different concepts for us for sure. But with colonialism and all the tattered history of South America and the frayed relationships with the various different European powers that went over there and did awful things for centuries. I mean, it just I don't know. It's really just fascinating to me to study the history and think through all this stuff because languages are so cool.
They really are.
Speaking of South America, sorry, Easy, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's really interesting how in English, and it just goes to the point of how interesting language is. In English, we sometimes say like "fuck," like it's something really good, but you would never be like "chingar" and be all stoked on it, like just.
Yes.
Somebody's gonna have to.
Who's got the bags of chips? Who's got the bags of chips?
Phil, mute if you're not talking, bro. Your microphone picks up everything.
That's like the biggest. That's the biggest bag of chips I ever heard.
Yeah. I feel like maybe he was assembling like some kind of like IKEA furniture, and like he had just like opened the box and slid it all out onto the floor, maybe, or something.
And what better time to do it than
right, exactly.
Yeah, he's gonna be by the phone for a while, but he doesn't have anything physically going.
That's what we have prepared for everyone. We're gonna have Phil arrange IKEA furniture.
You're gonna have to guess what kind of furniture is based on the swear words that he uses as he puts it together.
Or as like a very interesting concept, we could just read different IKEA furniture. The horrible instructions.
Okay, so it says number 42, and there's a picture of a short screw. It's not a mid-length screw, and it's not an extra short screw. It's a short screw, and then they've got a square. Easy. What kind of furniture is it?
This is bad. I do have some IKEA, which is totally random. I have some IKEA marble cards because somehow they were one of the sites that like joined the marbling early on. It's kind of funny. I've got like organic hot dog Kia like marble card, just some pretty random stuff there. Yeah, for real.
Oh, it's fantastic, Easy.
I mean,
how much?
Yeah, one day it'll be worth so much.
Hold on for dear life. I mean, we were speaking about South America. I believe the Bermuda Triangle is somewhere around South America. Am I right or wrong?
Well, off the
Yeah, technically it's in the ocean. South America is a continent, which makes it land. So land and the ocean are generally not considered to be the same place.
But it's off of, so if, off of kind of the east coast of, I would say probably more Central America, I guess. It would be interesting to look at a map and really like that had the actual quote unquote Bermuda Triangle on it. I don't know how defined it actually is, but it definitely encompasses excuse me,
3 points
the area
of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
Does anybody know? What are the three next side that make up the Bermuda Triangle? I think there's 3 distinct locations that exist. It may just be that nobody knows.
Yeah, and if somebody knows, I'll drop them a couple bucks in a whale. If somebody actually knows that, can drop that knowledge in the chat here. And there's also
this is
another,
a perfect segue, because
yes,
what we're going to do for the show today is we're going to read not about the points that encompass the Bermuda Triangle, but we're going to read a collection of short stories entitled "Her Bermuda Triangle Crazed Compass." So it's actually very close to the random point that we achieved in conversation for no reason a second ago.
That might be
what
one
are
of
the odds?
Triangle.
So meant to be.
Meant to be. I mean, I'm a little hungover and a bit of a sore throat today, but it's quite fitting that I think we've chosen for the story the AA meeting.
Nice.
Maybe I can soak this one in personally. So it's not too long of a story, and I'm going to be going.
Oh wait, did you go out last night? Is that what you're saying? You went out and had a good time?
Had a couple of drinks with some old friends. It was quite nice, but it always becomes too much. And perhaps this story would serve a good purpose for me, as well as hearing you all hearing what it contains. It's really exciting from what I've read in brief.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But I do want to share one last little anecdote, which is that there was a time when I was about 30 and I was in grad school, and one of my buddies from high school came to see me. And like, I've never really been like an alcoholic. Like, I don't really like to drink that much. Like I'll drink a little bit and have a good time and stuff. And sometimes I'll drink more than I should. But I usually don't go to like the full Bukowski point of like it just being sad and like too much. And like, for some reason, when my old friend came to see me, like that was the place that we immediately went. Like we just did nothing but drink as hard as we could for like the next 14 hours. And anyway, it was I think like 2 or 3 of the most embarrassing drinking stories that I remember from my entire life happened that one fucking night.
That is
it was intense.
Yeah, that's a serious night out.
Oh yeah, buddy. And fortunately, I can now say it's been well over half a decade since I had anything like that happen to me.
Nice. We're all growing up here.
Yeah, I think we can all relate to a short story called the AA meeting. Maybe it's a little bit further off the deep end than most of us like to go, but I can't wait. Let's dive right in. Read away, Mr. British man, with your beautiful voice and accent.
Let me just copy that out first so my voice is clear. All right. We sitting comfortably?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the AA meeting, part of Her Bermuda Triangle Crazed Compass by Redding Hunter. The AA meeting. I'd been off the stuff for 30 days, and things were getting harder. Over breakfast that morning, Mitchell told me for the 100th time that a meeting might help, and I guess he must have caught me at a vulnerable moment. I was hurting and fiending, so I said, fuck it, I'll come tonight. From what I'd heard, I didn't much like about the organization. Not going to get into the politics of it, the stuff about the greater power and all. Let's just say I felt it was for weaker people than myself with problems greater than mine. I was down on my luck, sure, but it wasn't anything I couldn't handle myself. Still, something must have humbled me over these past 30 days, because I found myself walking into a church basement that night excited a community of like-minded people. I didn't want to seem too eager, though, so I made sure to keep a smirk on the face and a chip on the shoulder. Mitchell and I were 10 minutes early. I was pleasantly surprised to see a decent number of attractive, healthy-looking people gathered around the coffee machine. Some really young kids, like 15 or 16 years old, stood in a little circle and talked super fast. An older guy with a silver beard and a ponytail produced a flask from his denim vest and discreetly poured what I assume was whiskey into his coffee cup. He noticed me noticing and gave a wink. I felt like asking him if I could get a swig, but decided against it. Figured I'd at least try to get through my first meeting sober. But the coffee looked good, so I poured a cup for myself and one for Mitchell. Now, the thing about Mitchell is he'd had a real problem a while back. He'd been in a touring band and things had gotten out of control, so he'd decided to get his life together. Well, Travis County had made that decision for him, full disclosure. That's before I met him, though. I'd never even seen him on the stuff, but I'd heard stories that he'd been the mayor of Trainwreck City. Inside the church basement, I was glad that Mitchell had been doing these meetings a while and seemed comfortable in this environment, because I sure wasn't. He introduced me to a couple pals and it helped me relax. I eventually forgot about the chip on my shoulder. We found some seats and made conversation with the cute gals next to us. So far, so good. Eventually, everyone was seated and the meeting got started. The guy with the silver ponytail stood up and called the meeting to order, and I laughed to myself as I realized he was running the show. I figured at the very least, this ought to be entertaining. "Welcome to AA, yada, yada, yada," he said in a loud, comfortable voice. "I'm kind of hungover right now, so I'm just going to open the floor to whoever wants to talk." The group laughed at his candor. I looked around nervously. I was confused by Ponytail's honesty. I was uncomfortable being the new guy, and I ducked down a little in my chair. A dude in a suit stood up. He had a shaved head, looked pretty tough, but in a got my shit together way. "Hey, name's Brooks. Most of you know me. This week was pretty good, so I'll keep it short. Just thought I'd start us off today by setting the tone. I'm living proof that the longer you stay away from the stuff, the better your life gets. My construction company officially made its $1,000,000th in profit fucking yesterday." Applause. "I've come a long way from back when I was a coked up street artist, I'll tell you what. You should have heard us talk back then. I can't believe it was only 6 years ago. We'd sit around smoking weed and say shit like, 'Yeah, that whole neighborhood is owned by Legface, yo.' Just because Legface had his tags on a bunch of walls around there shows you how messed up we were, like dogs pissing on fire hydrants, you know?" I nodded. I actually agreed. "Now I know better," he continued. "If I say I own the whole neighborhood, it's because my company built the houses and nobody lives in them yet. We literally own the neighborhood." Laughter and applause. It occurred to me that if I waited through the whole meeting, this nagging, nervous feeling in my stomach would continue the whole time too. That feeling, I realized, was my desire to speak up, to share my reason for being there, and just get it over with. As Brooks finished his talk, reminding everyone to visit his construction website, I found myself jumping on my feet, suddenly unwilling to wait for another speaker. I looked around to make sure I wasn't going to get yelled at or something. All seemed chill. "Hi, everybody. This is my first time here." Applause. "Tell us your name," said Ponytail. "Oh, my name, right. Yeah, it's Luxardu," I said. "And I've been clean 31 days. More applause. It was nice to hear." "Cool. Yeah, thanks," I continued. I wasn't like a total mess or anything, but I was getting there. I was in the pawning off things stage, you could say. "Been there, bro," said Brooks, and gave me a wink. It wasn't too creepy, just a millionaire winking. So I gave it up cold turkey, and it really wasn't super hard or anything. It's actually harder now after a month, so that's kind of why I'm here. Ponytail smiled knowingly. "Yeah, we hear a lot of this, believe it or not. It isn't quitting that's hard, it's staying quit over time. Life throws a bunch of curveballs your way, and you only have that one method of coping." "Yeah," I said, "totally. Like, I actually drove past the pawn shop yesterday, and I was like, if I just bought an 8-ball and stepped on it a little, I could get my guitar back in no time." And then I realized I was just bumming because I broke up with Clara recently. That's all it was. But just having that thought really freaked me out. "But you made it. You're here, and you're dealing with it," said Ponytail. "That's good." He was right. It felt great to hear someone say it. Mitchell had been right too. The meeting was doing me immediate psychic good. Man, this is awesome, I said. People laughed encouragingly. I felt great being there. I felt like I had totally come to the right place. I decided to keep it short and sweet. Well, that's all for now. Thanks, guys. More applause. I sure as hell never got applause that easily when I was drunk on stage. Some more people talked, and I listened enthusiastically. One lady spoke about how she started out in a modern dance company in Manhattan, but found herself stripping in Bed-Stuy a year later, hoarding cash below her mattress so that her boss couldn't find it and demand his cut. But now she runs a sex toy factory with her husband. She spoke with so much soul, I almost cried. I practically became a sex toy, she said, and now I inspire them. As I speak, Ass Dick Plastic Incorporated has over 200 employees. Applause. Towards the end of the meeting, people went up to get their chips for different levels of different lengths of time straight. I got mine. It said 30 days free. It was a little plastic poker chip, but it had more value in that moment than all the money I'd ever earned. I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Being able to talk about this stuff with other people was just so cathartic. When the meeting was over and we'd met practically everyone in the room, Mitchell and I finished our second cups of coffee and went to leave the church basement. Above the exit door, we noticed the big replica of Van Gogh's famous self-portrait. Patron saint, said Mitchell. Yeah, unfortunately, I said. Man, that dude could use some AA, huh? Totally, said Mitchell. That's why they use his image for so much of the literature. Oh, okay. Makes sense. So you want to go get drunk? Mitchell asked, smiling. Totally. We stopped walking and took a second to pay homage and to read the 9 steps listed below Van Gogh's portrait. This was when I really lost it. I actually felt my eyes tear up as I read them, realizing for the first time that this could be a new life for me, a sustainable life. And that's it. Ooh, that's a weird story.
Yeah, buddy.
That was amazing. What an epic
read.
One more page.
Oh, nice.
Here are the
Encore. Encore.
Thank you. The 9 steps of Artist Anonymous. 1. We admitted that we were powerless over our art, that our antisocial ways had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to society. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and lives over to the care of LLCs as we understood them. 4. Made a searching and fearless taxable inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to the IRS, to ourselves, and to at least one LLC the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to join an LLC and remove all these creative defects of character. 7. Humbly asked a CPA to correct all our prior taxable shortcomings. 8. Thought through quarterly earnings reports and spreadsheets to improve our conscious contact with LLCs as we understood them, calculating only for knowledge of their will for us and the power to carry that out. And finally, 9. Having had a corporate awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to artists and to practice these principles in all our affairs. There we go. Amazing.
Wow, that's like the heaviest part of the story. Jeez, that's got some whopper in it.
That is that there's some real double entendres there. How is this? The guy, the sustainable life, the guy that he's gonna drink. It's so weird. It's like it's such a confusing, very kind of unnerving kind of story. I would say.
It almost makes you question the decision to be like sober more than it makes you question like the travails of substance abuse and the lifestyle that come with it, huh?
Weird.
I mean, those last 9 steps, yeah, they just kind of put me in a very uneasy state of like 1984-ishness, or like, it's just like, and it's, I don't know, there's just something there that's heavy.
It's
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, let's take a moment to just reflect on all the artists throughout history who have struggled with and eventually been overcome by substance abuse. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. You got Tom Petty all the way back to, I mean, wow. Like even I think who's the splatter painter? I can't remember his name right off for some reason.
Pollock?
Oh,
Yeah, Jackson Pollock. Jackson
yeah.
Pollock. And then even back from there to like, you know, there were mathematicians and philosophers who struggled with poverty and with substance abuses, or, you know, I would say almost as a result of that poverty. You know, it's the whole nine. You know, it's the musicians, it's the writers, it's
Oh yeah.
Bukowski, it's, you know, I mean, like Vonnegut is the exception because he lived happily into old age. And I mean, that just goes to show what a demented and twisted person you have to be to do that sometimes.
It's a really, really sad interview with Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's talking about being 10 years straight. And he's like, you know, I just get anything I got my hands on. I'm 10, 15 years, I'd never do it again. And it's just so sad when you sort of learn how he died and what was in his system. It was like, you know, when he finally like caved in, I think there were like 7, 8 different, completely different kinds of drugs in his system. And that guy was such a good. I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you got Elvis, you know, you got, I mean, motherfucking Tom Petty. But like that is the last rock star that I would expect to have, you know, substance abuse issues, and yet the opioids got him, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Robin Williams, like Robin fucking Williams, Kurt Cobain. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. It's disturbing. There's something real here, you know? I think it's legitimately difficult to survive in the world as an artistic person, you
In
know?
fact, I would go as far as to say almost the majority, or probably the majority of artists, musicians, you know, really, and going all the way back, like you were saying, from philosophers, mathematicians to, you know, our kind of modern day, whatever, influencers and actors and artists and musicians, the majority, I think, suffer through these issues, and it is just, it's even more extreme, I think, in the music industry, and we lose so many amazing talented musicians, you know, early in life to too often to drug and alcohol abuse.
Yeah. And that was by Redding Hunter, by the way. Just wanted to like the story.
Oh, he's incredible. He's one of the first authors that WIP Publishing actually signed. If you actually don't know who Redding is, he actually was a pioneer of the lo-fi music movement. And so you're probably familiar with at least a few of his songs, because 2006, 2007 he was real hot. And you know, I believe that endured for some time. And the only time these books had ever been released before WIP Publishing got our hands on them and put them on the blockchain was a limited edition press run of 300 copies each. So those both sold out. Those were technically the first editions ever printed. Those were also the last editions ever printed. So basically, yeah, I mean, like these things had been dormant. Only 300 people had ever read either one of them, and we got them, and we've made them available not only to the world to read for free, but also to, you know, patrons to go pick up a copy, and then you own that, you know, and you can sell it in the future, or you can hold it forever, and maybe there will be some really cool perks coming now that we got the page token and everything. But I just can't say enough about, you know, I mean, we've done two minting runs of these books by Redding, one on Ethereum and one on Matic. The Matic tokens are a little bit uglier, but they never break. The Ethereum tokens are prettier, but sometimes they're not as reliable as we wish they were. We're still technically working on those dudes. But the Matic tokens are going to stay the way they are. And so, you know, as long as being able to get at the PDF is good for you, that should be, you know, good enough. So I highly recommend, you know, scoping out both of those. Just type WIP Publishing into the search bar on OpenSea, go to the WIP Publishing collection, and, you know, pick it up from there.
Yeah. And, you know, gas is a little harsh right now. I was actually just looking because I don't think I have one of these ones yet. I have a lot of our books, and I clicked over and it was like, you know, it's very affordable for such an amazing book, and I'd love to support the authors. I think it was like $80 for gas for a $30 book. So I'm switching over. I'm looking over to the Matics, which are, you know,
Oh,
a
yeah.
little more convenient to pick up, I would say. So I'm gonna drop that. into the event links as well. So it'll be there. If anybody, you know, a little later decides, you know what, I really do want to pick one of those up. You won't have to scroll through a whole chat. You can always check event links for things like this. And I'll also drop it again here in the live chat in case anybody wants to pop over.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible writing. I mean, just really phenomenal. Very captivating. Love it.
Yeah. I think we could definitely read another one. You got another one? 'Cause I think you're. Yeah. What? Look at the story. Brilliant. Are they all?
And you'll get a tip.
Yep.
Not if it's just the first one. Okay. I mean, unless really you want that one read, but just pick one that you think has a nice title, drop it in the chat here. We're gonna read it. Mr. Magic Box kind of jumped out at me, but I would love to get a crowd suggestion. So you all see that the contents page that Phil dropped? There's a bunch of choices there. Ooh. Carolina does. She does have the fast fingers. Blind date for nut jobs. That sounds pretty good.
All right, let's go. Yeah, 152. Are we putting that one in? Blind date for nut. Okay.
I think so.
You know what it may not have? There's just a little there's a little square up in the top right corner with an arrow in one corner of it, and it looks like you're going to open something if you click on that. So if you click on that, it'll actually pop open a new tab that has the PDF in it, and you can just read it right there in any web browser you like.
I will say this isn't a story; it's a screenplay. So perhaps me reading it wouldn't be as effective as an actual story, but I don't. I can still read it. It's I don't mind.
Whip out a quick voice for each character. That's all.
I'll work out.
Hey, that sounded like Easy was volunteering.
Oh.
Oh, who am I? Okay, let me get this open in a bigger area if we're doing that.
One of us is Sarah, one of us is Wade. But that means maybe someone else needs to be Wade and someone else is Sarah.
Ooh, if we could get a couple people from the audience to read those parts, I would throw down some tips.
I think Spark's. I think is that Spark? Has Spark changed his handle?
Yeah, hype man. That's Spark, all right. Spark, you want in on this? Let's see if we can get him.
Sparky.
Let's
He's gonna
see.
get his mic.
Yep, I'm looking for mic permissions. Let me give him a quick guest speaker role here. Okay, boom. Should be good. May need to hop out and hop in, but you got guest speaker role.
All right.
So that's one. And I bet Spark could do it justice on his own. But if there is somebody else that wants to jump in and read a role, there's two possibilities here. Oops, I was just trying to get to the right pages.
Yeah, 152. Is that the page? Blind date for nut jobs?
152.
All right.
It is mainly just Sarah and Wade speaking after the established.
Now where are the jobs?
What up? How do I sound?
All right, there he is. Sound very good, very good. Ooh, we got Indy jumping in. Hold on, folks. Hold on. We got the crowd coming to the rescue. This is what I like to see. Let me get Indy real quick. Make sure that he can get on mic as well. This is exciting. This is what makes me tick here. Getting people jumping in. Boom, guest speaker, a pal, done.
Do we need one of them to read as the female?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would assume
Should that person talk like this?
Yes, that sounds pretty good.
All right, I nominate Jim.
Cool. What do you? Okay, well, I'm the woman, yeah.
Okay, well, amazing. Yes.
How many? So it's mostly Wade and Sarah, because Indy wanted to jump in on this too, and I just got him speaker permission. So I'd say Indy take Sarah. I mean, he's got.
All right.
He's got chops to do that, right? Oh, it's loading slow. Yeah, sometimes that happens. The Matic ones sometimes go faster. What I had to do was just, usually I'm always on mobile and stuff. What I did is I did bust out the old computer to load these up because it has a larger screen, nicer to read, and it seemed to load faster than it was on my cell phone. Yep. Okay, so let's see. I've heard Spark. I haven't heard Indy. Indy, if you're able to unmute and get mic going, then let us know while these books are loading up here. And if not, if Indy is having issues connecting, then I would definitely say Jim to take Sarah.
Lovely. All right.
Or perhaps somebody could narrate as well.
Oh, yeah. There. I think heard Indy come in.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Ah, yes, we hear you. We hear you. Awesome. This is wonderful. Wonderful.
What page are we on? Oh my goodness. I'm
page 152.
I'm so excited.
Page 152, Blind Date for Nut Jobs, a one-act play. And this will be read to you by Infatigable and Spark Twain, also known as Hype Man.
Yeah, I changed that during the rap sesh.
Yeah, no, it works.
Okay, and I guess Jim will narrate. We haven't nominated a narrator.
Jim is an excellent narrator.
He's got the voice.
Wait, who am I?
I think you're Wade.
You're gonna be Wade, and Robbie's Sarah.
All right.
Also, this is known in the industry as a cold read. So all of you are witnessing some amazing thing happen in real time right now. That's all I wanted to say. This is behind the scenes magic.
History in the makings.
Got to be a film. So have we decided who's going to establish the seed? So I believe Spark is Wade and Indy's Sarah. Is that right?
Narrator. You've been nominated to narrate.
Wonderful. Okay, here we go. Blind Date for Nut Jobs, a one-act play. Interior, cigarette shop, cafe, day. Sarah, 20, excitedly plays with her silverware by herself at a table for two. She has tattoos and looks like she's weathered a few rough childhoods. She flips her spoon by hitting it with her fist, which sends it flying up over her shoulder. Oblivious to the glares of the elderly couple behind her, she rummages for it and sits back up triumphantly, now locking eyes with Wade, who has strolled in and stands across from her. Wade is a nervous character, same age as her, who fidgets a lot and speaks like he's not used to human contact.
So, you're probably Sarah.
That's me, Sarah Lee. I've been flipping my spoon while I wait. It flips better than the fork.
Pretty cool. A smoke shop where you can order coffee. So, yeah, I'm Wade. You probably knew that. You ordered something already?
Yeah, the vegan quiche looks amazing. Nice to meet you, Wade.
Oh, you're vegan.
No, but how good is food, right?
So, Vexler picked this place so I could smoke. Did you know that?
He chose it so I could smoke.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Vexler. So you're a nutcase too, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta love the local non-certified therapist, eh?
Well, he has some kind of certificates. I never really looked too closely.
Yeah, they're like shaman schools signed by Chief Blue Duck or something.
These people think we're fucked up.
Probably. It actually makes my cigarette taste better when people near me don't like me.
You're right, damn it. So, I hear you're a writer.
Nah, I wrote something once, but that was pretty much it.
Well, if you wrote anything all the way through, you're pretty much a writer in my book. That sounds impossible.
Oh no. Anybody who sits down and just starts typing can write a book. And then nobody will read it, but they'll want it on a shelf somewhere, and presto, you're a writer.
I had no idea it was so simple.
Yep. So that's me. Unemployed, basically. How about you?
Well, I sort of get paid not to work.
Oh, sign me up. What do you mean?
Well, so I was at a show at the kitchen and I sort of stabbed out all the ceiling lights with my pocket knife.
That's pretty rock and roll.
There were some pills involved. So yeah, next thing I know, I'm in this rehab place and Uncle Sam is like, here's 1500 a month. Just try and stay calm or something. Yeah. God bless Obamacare.
Wow, that's kind of unbelievable. I mean, that anyone would let you have a pocket knife.
Right?
So you just basically chill now.
Yep. State mandated chilling.
Ha, seriously, sign me up.
It's not that common. You got to do crazy in just the right combo. I got sort of lucky. Could easily just been jail instead, but I'd already seen all the right shrinks before that little incident. So, is this a date?
uh, Vexler told me he thought we could, like, help each other.
That's got to be against some law.
I think Vexler operates pretty far outside the law.
Yeah, he's from another dimension. We talked about it in this lucid dream I had.
You talk about lucid dreams?
We talked in the dream, but my subconscious pretty much had him down. It was like a free session.
At the risk of repeating myself, sign me up.
Yep, hop on board.
Anyway, to clarify, this can't be a date. I can't date. Not for a year.
Why not? Anyone who says that PS really wants to be in a relationship and probably will be in 2 weeks.
Maybe for most, but not for this guy. I had a string of crazy girlfriends, and I'm on a mandatory girls and booze break till I figure some shit out. Probably a year, maybe longer, whatever it takes to never repeat those patterns again.
Sarah stares into his eyes and nods.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Ooh, you know what you should do?
I wish.
Grow a beard.
Ah, you chicks love freaking beards, don't you? I always feel sort of dumb looking and itchy when I don't shave.
No, here's the secret. Girls don't love beards. What they love is hiding their boyfriends from other girls. So if you don't have a girlfriend, you'll just be hiding.
Wow, you are doctor. That's sort of the craziest thing I ever heard.
Look, who are you going to trust? Your dumb male self or me, a genuine, in the flesh female human?
Well, a female that likes to stab ceiling lights.
Those lights had it coming.
Whoa, okay, simmer.
JK. So how are you? Oh my God, tell me everything about you. You're a writer. How do you even do that? You must be so talented.
A rapid personality change causes Wade to slow himself down and become extra calm.
Not necessarily.
I can tell. Do you think I should get Botox, like right here or like here?
No, Jesus, you're fine. Don't do that.
All the women in my family have. It's inevitable.
Don't. Bad road to go down. Once you start, you don't stop. It's an addiction like any other, but it ends with you becoming a lizard person.
Oh, what do you know? All guys are into skinny young girls. If you try to deny it, you're a little liar.
Dang, this is a lot for a first hangout.
You can say date.
Don't get surgery. Jeez.
Maybe. P.S. I'm a sapiosexual.
What's that? Like sappy movies?
Means I get turned on by intelligence. You know, talk nerdy to me.
Cool. I'm botosexual. I like to get turned on by lizard people.
Sarah folds her arms.
Okay, sorry. Don't do it, please. Hey, why are women obsessed with shoes? I came up with a theory.
I'll tell you, but you go first.
Okay. Well, I think you're more sensitive to stress and tension than men. That's why you do yoga and stuff while we lift weights or whatever. You're more aware of the causes of tension, so you trace it to its origins, like bad posture, toxic people around you, diet, feet. So the right arch and the right sole, fabric, all that stuff really matter to you because it connects to everything.
But then we'd only wear comfy shoes.
Yeah, like in private, but then the shoes can socially be a signal for how badass you are because you're aware of all that stuff. So an uncomfortable shoe projects how tough you are, how high your threshold for pain is. And that manifests in the greatest of all Inquisition style footwear achievements, the stiletto.
You've given this way more thought than I have, foot fetish boy.
Have I? What's your theory?
Oh, it's because our feet are the only thing we can see.
Ha! So much simpler.
Yeah, front, back, sides, we can see it all. We're vain. Everything else we wear takes a mirror to see, so we value shoes way more. We spend more money on them.
Hmm. You can also see purses entirely and stuff like rings.
Now you're catching on, sailor.
Huh. Sailor. That's the protagonist of my favorite movie.
Mine too.
They smile.
Freaking Vexler.
Bravo!
Wow.
That was
That was an
crazy.
incredible cold read right there. Phenomenal work.
That was real fun.
Spark
That was a
Twain.
great story, man.
Can we go on a date, Spark Twain?
Super
all.
enjoyable. I
It
think
was
love
like
is in
a
the
punk
air.
rock mute cute. Like, what the fuck?
And that was a great twist too, like having Sarah just kind of reset right there when they were just getting like kind of that flow going, you know. Very, very great, very great short screenplay. Loved it.
Amazing. That was awesome. That read was amazing.
I think I called it a
I
mute
don't know.
cute. Yeah, I meant a meat cute. Excuse me. I guess I'm becoming dyslexic.
A meet cute.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
that was
dude.
hella fun. We should read more screenplays. That's a move.
Phil, you
Definitely,
talking about all your dates
definitely.
with Pam?
Discord plays.
You guys should probably stop smoking so much. Oh, you said, oh no. Okay, cool.
And you know that also that just makes me want to mention something. Besides longer literature, short stories, even a single short screenplay or a couple short screenplays, like it's really anything that you want to write and bring forward. We would love to work with everybody that has any type of creative push to get writing or publish some of their works. Maybe you have an old notebook that you used to write little screenplay ideas in or something. Like, dig those out. Come join the WIPP Discord and join the page DAO and get some of that shared. I mean, who knows how much people could enjoy your funny little short story or your screenplay or your poetry.
Okay, easy. Okay, you talked me into it. I think I'm gonna drop Further From Home as an NFT book. It's a book I wrote
Alright.
that reminds me a little bit of like a less good version of like what Redding Hunter has done with this her Bermuda Triangle craze compass here. And yeah, I'm gonna put that out as an NFT book. How about that, y'all?
I think that's an excellent idea. Yes.
Oh, also, if there's anybody in the audience that's thinking shit like that, like hit me up. But we can put your shit out too.
Totally. You know, look at that example. We just had somebody, total stranger, jump on the call and say they're going to publish this new NFT book. Well, not a total stranger. I might have stretched that a little, but still, you all saw it happen here. You know, you're witness. So yeah, would just love to, and also for collaborations. Maybe you have an idea for a screenplay, but you've always struggled with writing it out. You know, let's work together and form little teams and do some of these projects. It's you know, it's all here kind of for the taking. We're at the beginning of this amazing journey of Web3 and literature to the blockchain. We can do stuff
believe it or
together.
not, folks, we do know some writers.
It's true. I've heard those rumors.
Well, do you think we could get Jim to maybe do one more incredible little short story by Mr. Redding Hunter?
I think there's enough time for one more. Yeah.
I think I'll have a look and see what what short ones there are.
Yeah. Does anyone in the audience have any particular requests? We've got about 12 minutes, so we could probably do one that's up to about 5 pages or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure Bully Meow will probably give us an extra minute or two if we needed it. I saw he was hanging with us.
Hell yeah. What's up, Bully Meow?
Shout out, Bully Meow. Meow, meow.
Edible Traffic is 3 pages. It's a very weird name.
Yeah, let's do that one. I love weird names.
Yeah, that's a weird name. All right, let's go for it.
Woohoo.
All right, Edible Traffic. Nothing pleased Dr. Spender more than when, in the concluding minutes of his lecture, he managed to sneak a personal theory into his remarks. Today's talk, for example, which had explored Agent Scully's straight man role supporting Fox Mulder, allowed him such an opportunity. Dr. Spender's parting words before he beamed in self-congratulation and dismissed his freshmen went something like this. And that's why I think we no longer choose our mates based on physical attractiveness or potential for offspring success. We choose them based on whether or not we would like to eat them. This concept actually made perfect sense given the sentence. We can all sense the pending overpopulation. It's in our genes to keep that kind of thing in check. And this sentence, in turn, made sense given the two for it. How many times have you been stuck on the freeway and thought, we should really do something about the population? You see, it's actually it's actually a very polite verbalization of our primal instinct to calmly and rationally murder each other. And these, as you can probably guess where I'm going with this, made perfect sense given the initial sentence in his tangent, which he stated with pretend spontaneity, as if he hadn't planned for this exact moment. Come to think of it, we're really not too far removed from praying mantises. While we're at it, here's the final sentence from the previous subject, which caused him to delightedly diverge from his lecture's concluding remarks. And that's what caused Agent Mulder to ask, did you ever notice how a praying mantis's head resembles an alien's head? I mean, the mysteries of the natural world were revealed to me that day, but instead of being astounded, I was repulsed. Dr. Spender knows he will receive tenure before the full semester next year. The notion that America's education system remains competitive would be difficult to defend if such a lecture had really occurred in a modern university, right? But it didn't really occur, did it? Wait, did it? Amazing.
Damn, that was very interesting.
That was hysterical to me. Like I was laughing my head off the entire time.
Calmly murdering each other, and I mean, yeah, that was just
yeah, like you select a mate on the basis of whether you would like to eat them or not.
That I love it. Such like wild thing, like so just kind of out of left field, you know. Like so, anything that people can think of to write, I think can be entertaining for someone else. You know, it doesn't have to be some super specific or long piece of written material. It could be
But
something
it could be
small.
satire. Like it could be
Totally.
funny. Be like Kane Mayfield.
We love Kane.
It's like surreal. The stories are like just like surrealist stories, and I want to read it all and see like if they like fit together in a certain way or with a certain order.
Yeah, man.
Incredible. I mean, we.
Well, the craziest thing to me is that, like, I didn't meet Redding Hunter until 2021. I didn't know that he was a person. I don't think I'd ever heard of his music. But I wrote a book in 28, or like from like 20, I don't know, 08 to like 2017 or something, and then self-published it at the beginning of 2018 called Further From Home. And it's like a similar vibe, man. Like I sat down and read both of Redding's books, and I will say that the Ivory Towers, is that what it's? Anyway, it's the Ivory Palms. Yeah, the Ivory Towers was a Halo map. My memory is getting a little bit worse. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, so Ivory Palms is a full-length novel by Redding Hunter that was really impressive to me. I mean, it's just like this gritty realism, and then it turns out to be actually like the most surreal, like, you know, thing that you ever saw in your life, and you're just like, whoa, like it kind of blows your mind at the end. You know, there's a real loop in it, and it's cool.
Nice.
It's well executed. You know, the prose is just, you know, as you guys have seen, like the dialogue is really like reflective, and you never know. He can do anything. You know, he crushes it. I'm really pumped to read stuff like this. But in terms of the subject matter and stuff, it's weird for me. I'm like Redding's #1 fan because I've also tried to write stuff kind of like this, you know, like, and it's just really cool to see somebody just crush the execution of it the way he does. So highly recommend, you know, at the very least go sit down and read through this book, you know.
I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about the WIPP publishing books, NFT books, is that you can go and, for something like this especially, you can go and just, you know, read up a story or two out of this, and then if you know, you're really enjoying yourself, you can pick one up. It's I really love the fact that we have this beautiful reader.
Amazing. I mean, it'd be fun. I mean, we would get, perhaps we could ask the audience if we'd like to do this again at some point, and yeah, like what do you guys think? Like you know, this is an activity generally.
Yeah, this is a great activity. In fact, I would go so far as to say, if people really enjoyed this and would like to do more of it, feel free to, you know, reach out. We can do a little pop-up or plan scheduled readings over in the WIPP Discord as well. Maybe we should have a reading channel or something.
We could even come hang out with you in your Discord if you're like
Totally.
lads or whoever, and you have a big bump in Discord and you want to like intro your peeps to like the movement we got going on here. Like, you know, we're all about you know, hitting the road. But like I said, I'm literally planning to drop another NFT book in the near future, and I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I tell you what, guys, if y'all wanted to, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, so I won't be here next Wednesday or the Wednesday after, but the Wednesday after that. So in 3 Wednesdays, what do you say? Like, I mean, I'll volunteer to show up and read a little bit of Further From Home for everybody. Does that sound good?
Yes, and I think we should even also add some little readings, maybe just like a short story or something over in the Twitter spaces to share some of the material, because we've been talking a lot about the material and, you know, all the things we're working on, but over there we haven't done any readings, and I think that could be a nice little addition to just kind of spice it up over there. We did have a great spaces last night on Twitter, and one person took up the challenge of screenshotting and tweeting. And if I'm not mistaken, they got 100 page and basically are, you know, have that ready to be a DAO member. because they,
That's
you know,
right.
I think it was like 20 a pop or something is what we had offered. But since so only one person participated, I think it was is Dylan, you know, just decided, hey, let's throw the bag at them. And so really think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we wanted to extend that to this week. So if you come to the next Twitter Spaces next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, you screenshot the, you know, yourself in the audience, you tag WIPP Publishing and Paged Out, you tweet that out with like a hashtag of NFT books, and you can get a little page drop.
Yeah, that's right. And my rationale for hooking Maria up with the extra 80 page tokens was just, look, you know, I mean, she's the one person that remembered to take part in the challenge. That's the type of person that we want to you know, bend over backwards to get into the DAO, right? I mean, she's gonna be a great member, and we can't wait to have her. So it's gonna be awesome. And I mean, that's really kind of the mentality around here right now. Is just we need to get like a little bit better on the technical front of like how we're executing the DAO and get some votes going and start, you know, actually responding to proposals and stuff. But once we do, I mean, we're going to be so good. This is going to be a lot of fun, y'all, and we want everybody to be along for the ride. If you've done design work and could help with layouts, yeah.
Let's get crazy.
Oh, we already have, baby. It's already crazy up in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wrote
Yeah,
this once that was
that's
like,
the
it was like going mad is fine. The problem is I never get there. And I think that's how that's literally how I think I've 2 years.
Yeah, the Twitter Spaces. Yeah, so me and Jimmy could team up and we could do separate NFT book audiobook releases of Jimmy's book. And then Jimmy's version could be him seriously reading it. And my version might be my John Cleese impersonation reading it.
Derivatives and secondary, tertiary endings and stuff. We got a lot of cool ideas flowing last night.
or yeah, like if you were really successful and really popular, perhaps you could get Snoop Dogg or Samuel L. Jackson to read your book.
Oh yeah, now you're talking. Yes.
Or Neil Gaiman. If you could get Neil Gaiman to read your book, that would be epic. But yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the WIP Publishing Discord, and have a lovely week. And don't forget to come to Pass the Pen the same time of day on Friday next week.
Yeah. Very excited for this week's Pass the Pen, and we have some more interesting Pass the Pen ideas that we'll share on Friday as well. So it's time for Bully Meow. Thanks so much for coming and hanging with us. Peace, love, and